Imagine you're an intelligence director in Washington, D.C. You've spent decades learning to guard secrets behind encrypted phones and multi-million-dollar security details. But at the end of a long day, you do what millions of others do. You open an app and call an Uber. You climb into the back of a clean, quiet sedan. The driver is silent, nodding along to lo-fi beats. You feel safe in this unremarkable bubble. So you take the call. You discuss coordinates. You discuss targets for a classified drone strike. But the dashcam perched on the windshield has been modified. Instead of saving video locally for insurance purposes, it is currently broadcasting every word you say directly to a live feed on the dark web. Devastating intelligence leaks no longer require vast espionage networks or state-sponsored hackers. They are being created by gig workers who exploit the deep, unearned trust we place in everyday service providers. The United States intelligence community builds sprawling digital fortresses. Organizations like the NSA focus on high-end encryption breaks and foreign signals intelligence. They are built to stop Russian or Chinese state actors, not a driver with a soldering iron. This threat exists in a blind spot. Traditional counterintelligence isn't calibrated to audit the cars idling outside the Pentagon or the State Department. The driver's system was so low-tech and unconventional that it flew entirely under the radar of traditional surveillance. This success relied on how we perceive service workers. In a city like D.C., the world's most powerful people often treat their drivers as invisible background characters, human furniture in a very important life. The driver weaponized this invisibility. He realized that the cargo in a capital city isn't just people, it's information. Passengers let their guard down because they view a gig economy car as a private temporary extension of their own office. Multi-million-dollar security apparatuses fail completely when the vulnerability is based on simple human behavioral habits rather than technological flaws. The driver's setup was a masterclass in repurposed consumer tech. He modified the hardware to bypass the internal storage card, swapped in an ultra-sensitive microphone, and rigged a hidden hotspot to stream a live feed directly to DipperWeb. For months, he operated a one-man intelligence agency. He picked up fares near the Pentagon and the State Department, while his subscribers tuned in to hear raw conversations about policy shifts and military strikes in real time. By simply altering the intent of a common dashcam, he turned a routine gig job into a highly profitable, undetectable espionage operation. This reality forces a question. How can you verify the privacy of a space that feels secure but isn't under your control? Protecting your data requires a physical sweep. Check the dashcam's orientation. Lenses should point at the road. Look for aftermarket wiring or unusual LEDs. Inspect the memory slot. If the SD card is blocked, the device is likely streaming data out. Behavior is your strongest defense. Treat any hired vehicle as a public space. Use white noise apps to mask speech. Utilize silent ride features in your app, or simply move classified discussions back to a secure office. In 2024, everything is a sensor. Security in transit requires you to assume that if there is a microphone in the room, it is live. The driver's success was built on a dual life. He was a high-level intelligence leaker by night and a meticulous service provider by day, maintaining a near-perfect 4.9-star rating to keep the VIP fares coming. The downfall began after a smooth ride with a high-level official. The secrets were lucrative, and the passenger, unaware of the breach, left a glowing 5-star review, specifically thanking the driver for their great conversation. A professional spy would have moved on, but the driver took pride in his perfect image. His desire for digital validation outweighed his operational security, and he felt compelled to reply. In his friendly public response, he slipped. He referenced a specific detail that had only been discussed during that private, classified conversation in the back seat. It is a striking irony. He outsmarted the most expensive security nets in the world, only to be undone by the simple human desire for a 5-star rating. The passenger was trained to spot security anomalies. Upon reading the reply, they realized the driver shouldn't have known that specific detail was significant. Their stomach dropped, and they immediately flagged the interaction. Federal agencies moved in quickly. They traced a digital footprint of the modified dashcam back to his dark web portal, uncovering a comprehensive archive of every classified conversation that had ever happened in that car. The intelligence community, with all its satellites and supercomputers, was hijacked by a guy with a soldering iron. Yet the very system he used to stay invisible, the gig economy rating system, is what eventually shone a spotlight on him. This case proves that a DIY hack by a single worker can create a leak that rivals sophisticated state-sponsored attacks. It shows that the human element, our need for recognition and our habit of talking where we shouldn't, remains the greatest risk. Does this change how you act in a rideshare? Are you checking the dash cams now? Drop a comment below. I read all of them. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next one.